Legendaarinen laulu- ja soitinyhtye W.A.S.P on julkaissut julkaisee 9. albuminsa Unholy Terror, ja meillä on täällä yhtyeen keulakuvas kirkkelinterämies Blackie Lawless. Welcome to the show. I read from the album sleeve that you kind of have a hate-love relationship for songwriting. So
I hate songwriting. I hate making records.
How tough was this one?
They're all really tough because it's that constant tug of war, that struggle in your head to get your conscious mind out of the way, to let the subconscious mind come out.
Yeah.
You know what's really going on the inside. So it's kind of like it's always really a struggle because I'm not trying to make good records. I'm trying to make great records, and I'm trying to make them perfect. So it's really always a struggle. I'm just not that good.
Okay. There's a song called Locomotive Man in which tells a story about murdering, suicidal thoughts. So have yourself got suicidal thoughts once in a while? Or?
No, I've been really blessed a long time. I don't have any suicidal thoughts. There's a phenomena that's going on not just in America, but it's happening in Britain, it's happening in Asia, where you see kids taking guns to school and shooting other kids at school. And it's a phenomena that's happening because parents start to believe that they can have the perfect marriage, the perfect life, the perfect family. You cannot have everything perfect. They work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. They cannot maintain a marriage, much less try to raise kids. So they have kids going to school that are screaming for attention. They say, please pay attention to me. And if they don't get the attention, I will make you pay attention to me. So it's an idea about a kid who's desperate for his parents to give him attention and he doesn't get it.
Ihan hetken päästä jatketaan jutustelua Blackin kanssa, mutta sitä ennen katsotaan yksi legendaarisimpia videoita, mitä bändillä on ikinä tullut, nimittäin I Wanna Be Somebody vuodelta 1980. There was definitely some old material.
Yeah.
How does it feel like to watch it now?
It's very bizarre. It's always surrealistic because people ask me, they say, do you feel different when you're on stage than you do right now? I never feel any different. I always feel like the same person till I watch it back on film and I go, oh, wow, who's that? You know, it's very bizarre.
Okay. I heard that you guys had a lot of debating from this album title, whether it should be Unholy Terror or not. So,
well,
why was that?
Because when you start dealing with religious subjects, you have to be very careful to make sure that if you're going to make a statement that people understand exactly what you're trying to say. This album is not an attack on personal faith. It's about my experience and Chris's experience of growing up in the church and how the church teaches you to think the way they want you to think. And again, it is not an attack on personal faith. It's about organized religion and the way it manipulates their people. But it's not just religion that does it either. Governments are famous for doing it to people. I mean, what you see on the news on television is really what the government wants you to see. So the whole idea of this is think for yourself, find your own answers, don't let happen to you what happened to me. You'd be better off.
Yeah. 15 years ago, the church people were pretty much on to you.
They still are.
Oh, they still are? Are they as excited as they were?
They love me.
Okay. There's a song called Evermore in the album, and I read something that it tells from your experience in some desert. So
well, I'm part Native American Indian, and so I spend a lot of time in the American Southwest with the other Indians whenever I have time. And it's an idea that's, I embrace a lot of the culture of the American Indians, and it's an idea of the possibility that maybe we've lived here before. So I'm not saying that I believe in it, I'm just saying I would like to believe in it, and maybe it's possible.
I read something that you've been shot 3 times in your life.
Shot at.
Shot at?
I was missed all 3 times.
Oh, really? Where were they? And
once was in Paris, once in Paris and twice in America.
Did they catch any
Twice. Twice.
And were they church people or what were they?
I don't think so.
All right, okay. The Hell Dorado, the last album that you did about 2 years ago, you said that it was a step towards the old W.A.S.P material. So where is this album taking us?
I don't really try to think about where I'm going to go with records when I record them. As I was saying before, I just try to get the conscious mind out of the way and let the subconscious take over. I'm so close to this record right now, I can't tell you what it is. It's almost like trying to paint a mural that's 50 meters wide with your face right up against it. You can't see what it is. So it usually takes me about 6 months or a year to be able to understand what I've done. The only thing I think that I'm trying to do on this is try to give people the benefit of my experience of what happened to me growing up in the church. And again, to make better decisions for themselves, so they don't end up crazy.
Okei. Tähän väliin katsotaan taas toinen W.A.S.Pin vanha video, joka on nyt sitten toiselta albumilta, ja sen kantaa nimeään Wild Child. Oh yeah. Niin tuossa lähetyksen alussa puhuttiin siitä Jyrki Communitystä ja siitä, että Blackie on siellä chatissa, niin sinne kannattaa tässä vaiheessa käydä niin kuin kuikuilemaan, niin pääsee sitten heti, kun mies tästä vapautuu tästä haastattelusta, niin tykittämään miehelle kysymyksiä, jos ei niitä tässä haastattelussa tule tehtyä. Blackie, when I watch Marilyn Manson, he kind of reminds me about you. What do you think about the Marilyn Manson guy?
I've never seen him.
Really?
I've never seen him live. No, it's just, I understand the obvious comparisons, and I'm flattered, you know, that people would think that, but I've never seen him, so it's really hard for me to say. I think, you know, from what I've seen in pictures and videos, it looks like it's good.
Okay.
But that's all I know.
In the 80s, it was very common that bands like you and Kiss and Iron Maiden and those kinds of bands, they did a record almost every year. And they always have a new record and then they tour a new record. And nowadays it seems that most of the bands, they do one record in 3 years and that's it.
It's very difficult because if you release a record today and you play in Finland today, it takes a whole year to tour the world. You have to go to Sao Paulo, Brazil, Tokyo, Japan, Seoul, Korea, Dallas, Texas. Every one of those shows is one night, sometimes more. And by the time you tour the whole world, it takes 1 year to do it properly. To do an album, for me, properly takes a year. So if I release a record today and I play Finland today, it's going to be 2 years before you see me, minimum, maybe longer. So I don't think people really understand why it takes so long from record to record. You know, it took 14 months to do Unholy Terror, and people said, well, what took you so long? It took 2 years between Hell Dorado and this record. I said, well, I toured the world for a year, and it took me a year to make this, you know, 2 years.
But you didn't do any tours on 80, so how come you did like 5 records in 5 years or 4
Because
records?
you're writing when you're on the road, and it's much, much more difficult. I think the quality of the records is better now because you're not doing them. You're literally in the back of a bus writing an album every night while you're on tour. Those early records were made in 6-7 weeks, beginning to end. Yeah. It takes me that long now just to tune my guitar. So, you know, it's a lot more dedication in it.
Okay. You were very famous in the 80s, drinking blood and eating raw meat and that kind of stuff.
Me?
And the whole band. So you still do that in your stage show?
Well, I thought you meant do I do it in my private life. Yeah. W.A.S.P are always going to be big. W.A.S.P are always going to be bloody. W.A.S.P going to be way over the top, or it's not W.A.S.P.
Okay. I read a fact that before you became a musician, you were pretty good on baseball. So you still play that?
Yeah, I love the game. I know it's hard for people here to understand, but in America it's very big.
All right. Are you a pitcher or what?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about I've got to ask the groupies question then, though, because you had a lot of groupies in the 80s. How is it now? Okay, you still got them, but you do them after the gigs?
The 90s changed everything.
Really?
Oh,
What
yeah.
happened?
Well, you know, hey, you got to be careful. You know, you end up dead.
Yeah.
You know, so the 90s changed a lot of things for a lot of people. And like I said, you have to be careful now. It's not like the good old days.
Okay, okay. Hey, we're gonna have a short commercial break and we come back. Eli nyt mainoskatkolle ja katkon jälkeen jatketaan hommia. No niin, nyt alkaakin sitten tämä haastattelu, on se interaktiivinen osuus. Toivottavasti siellä on puhelinnumero ruudussa, siihen voi soittaa ja esittää tälle miehelle, eli Blackie Lawlessille kysymyksiä. Onko kellään tässä yleisökysymyksiä? Kättä vaan pystyy, jos haluaa jotain.
Back the fuck up.
Mieheltä kysyä, siellä olisi ainakin yksi tarkkaan mikkiä.
I am diehard from Lahti.
Yes.
When and where your first gig in W.A.S.P?
When and where was what?
When and where for your first gig in W.A.S.P? Concert, yeah, gig.
Los Angeles, 1982.
1982?
Yeah.
What was your month?
Oh, my first, I thought you meant the first W.A.S.P show.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah, it was
this month?
August of 1982.
1982 and August or
yes.
What month?
What happened in the gig? Do you remember that?
Yeah, there was 37 people there.
37? You counted all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kenellä on mulle jotain kysymystä? Siellä olisi ainakin yksi tuo takarivistä, jos saadaan mikkiä sinne.
Hey, I gotta dwell back on the old days a little. Are you aware what Randy and Tony are doing nowadays?
I saw Randy about a year ago. He's living in Cincinnati, Ohio, and he's doing okay. He's fine. Tony, I don't know where Tony is. I don't think Tony knows where Tony is.
Okei, mitäs muita? Löytyykö? Tässä olisi ainakin yksi.
Careful now, you're going to be famous now.
Hi, I'm Mirva. I was just wondering, is there any chance we get W.A.S.P to Finland?
Well, I've got a call later on this afternoon. We're going to be doing some of the festivals here this summer in Europe, and I don't know if we're going to play up here yet. I'm going to find out probably about 2 or 3 hours when I talk to my agent.
Please.
Well, you have to talk to your local promoters.
Yeah. Okay.
Ketäs muita? Onko täällä muita, jotka haluaa kysyä? Ota mikrofonia ja anna palaa.
Hi. Do you still wear your cod piece on stage?
Not to bed.
What about the flamethrower?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I wear that one to bed.
Okei, mitäs muita? Ketä haluaa kysyä jotain? Siellä.
Don't be shy.
Your metal, I'm shaking.
Stop!
Sano vaan, anna tulla.
Nothing more.
Is it my breath?
Nothing more to ask.
Okay.
Täällä on suomeksi, mä voin kysyä se englanniksi.
Can I shake your hand?
Okei, onko muita kysymyksiä? Meillä pitäisi olla puhelimessa itse asiassa joku. Meillä on Timo puhelimessa. Haloo, kuuluuko?
Kuuluu.
No niin, morjesta. Hei, sulla on kysymyksiä varmaan Blackille.
Joo, yksi ainokainen.
No annahan palaa.
What was really the first album's name? Was it W.A.S.P? Or I Wanna Be Somebody?
No, we originally thought that maybe we might call it Winged Assassins, but at the end
I have it in that name.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bootleg then, because it's originally titled W.A.S.P.
You're under arrest.
Yeah, but it says Winged Assassins.
I got no money for that.
Yeah, that was the question.
Okay,
Okei,
thanks.
kiitoksia Timo. Erittäin hyvä. Varsinko onko meillä muita puheluja linjalla? No niin, meillä on seuraava soittaja. Kuka siellä?
Joo, täällä on Jiiko.
No terve.
Joo, yksi kysymys tälle Blackille.
Joo, anna mennä vaan.
Joo. Mr. Black, do you think that you have inspired the Norwegian black metal scene?
That's what I hear. I mean, I've seen numerous covers that black metal bands have done of W.A.S.P songs, and some of them I've heard that are actually very good.
Yes.
So, yeah, probably.
Yes. Oh, thank you. That was clear. Okay.
Kiitoksia kysymyksestä. Niin hyvät katsojat, teillä on mahdollisuus tosiaan soittaa tähän lähetykseen ja kysyä, tai siis teillä on siis elämänne tilaisuus soittaa ja kysyä Blackie Lawlessilta kysymyksiä. Pitäisi olla taas seuraava soittaja linjalla. Haloo, kuka siellä?
Ville.
No moi.
Moi.
Mitäs menee ja mitä haluaisit kysyä Blackilta?
No sitä, että hyvin menee ja milloin teidän seuraava albumi tulee?
Seuraava albumi. Mä voin kertoa, että se on 2. päivä huhtikuuta ja se on nimenomaan tää Unholy Terror, josta me ollaan puhuttu tässä koko ajan.
Joo.
Onks tässä vielä jotain? No, jätetään ne nyt vähän myöhempään hetken. Kiitoksia kuitenkin soitosta. Onko tässä ketään, joka haluaisi kysyä viimeisen yleisökysymyksen? Noniin.
Where are you touring this summer? Wonder, are you coming to this place in Germany called Wacken Open Air?
I think so.
Yes. Oh yeah. Great.
Elikkä siinä kannattaa sitten ehdottomasti mennä, jos W.A.S.P. tänä kesänä niin kuin ihan saletisti haluaa nähdä. Nyt Olli Oikarisella pitäisi olla meille asiaa vähän tuosta Jyrki Communitystä.